Philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein once said, "The limits of my language means the limits of my world." This quote rings true to me because it was not a limit set upon me by my language, but instead my bilingual ability that freed my perspective and opened up the world to me. The power of language and literature has long influenced me and my passions. Being bilingual, I am able to compare and contrast the way language is used, how it rolls off our tongues, how the tanning sticks to the roof of our mouths. And in return, what this does for us, our messages, our delivery, our very communication and connection to one another. Being an immigrant and coming from a family who learned their second language long after their developmental phase had passed has impacted me greatly and allowed me to live a dual life in some ways. It has impacted the way I interact with, perceive, and move in this world. Today, I would like to delve deeper into the foundation that has made me who I am and shape the passions I have cultivated. Passions that range from my love of language to my love of people, passions that have led me from communications and public relations to hospitality, and now nursing and entrepreneurship. So, let's begin at the beginning, shall we? Coming from a small family, my mother, myself, and my father, I certainly had time to have a majority of the attention focused on me. While my father was a truck driver and was on the road most of the time, it was just me and my mother. And my mother focused heavily on my first few years of development. While I was developing my ability to speak in language and comprehension, I was simultaneously learning my native tongue of Tigrinya as well as English. Now, of course, for a developing 1 or 2-year-old, this can be tricky, and many times my sentences were mixed with Tigrinya and English, but my mom stayed persistent. And with time, I was able to find the beauty and the precision in both languages. Now, this duality stayed within me and laid the framework for the rest of my life. Starting young in grade school, I was always interested in any form of writing, literature, composure. It did not matter. It could be storytelling, story reading, story writing. If it was a story, I had one. I wanted to hear one. It didn't matter. Now, going into my academic progress as I went into high school, my extracurricular activities once again showed my passion for literature. I was heavily involved in the Black Student Union until my senior year when I became president. I was also part of the NAACP Snohomish County as their youth president. And I began and was vice president of the poetry club at my high school. So these were definitely several different fields where language and literature were all used heavily, and I loved it. Now, this love grew into a passion until I decided I found it. This is what I want to do. Public relations is the major for me, which I enrolled for communications, journalism, public relations, writing and rhetoric, any form of writing, reading, literature major that I could get my hands on. Eventually, I started doing freelancing, taking on clients, and I started really starting to delve into this world as a profession, and I loved it. Everything about creating the story, telling who my clients were, it all reminded me of the power that language has. That has been the common theme in my life. Language is my power. Language is my ability to connect. Language is my ability to express, to understand. Language is my ability to manifest, to create the things that I want to create. I use language first. And with that, I was able to slowly learn and grow and see that language mattered in all aspects of my life. I didn't have to be a language major to use language in my life. And from there, I truly began to understand the importance and the power of language, that it was up to me to use it how I see fit. Language is my spell, and I can wand it how I please. So this led me to discover another passion, a passion of connecting with people, a passion of healing people, a passion of making an impact in everyday lives. And this led me to my major of nursing. Now, with this major of nursing, I have found that language plays a role in more than one way. With the power of language, I am able to better express myself, better communicate with my guests, better communicate with the family of the patients, better communicate with doctors, to better chart my patient's new tests, their new blood pressure, when I am looking for the exact word to describe their symptoms. All of these things, language plays an importance of. How someone perceives the worst or best news of their life is in my hands and in the word choice that I choose to use. The way I manifest the things that I desire, the way I choose to let those know I care about them, the way that I express any thought is through my use and power of language. Throughout my academic, professional, and personal history, I have used my duality to strive and excel in any environment. My love of language has allowed me to use the power of language to form bonds, manifest my desires, and strive in several professions. Overall, I believe I have gained my sense of duality and connection to the community around me from being raised by an immigrant family in a first world country. I learned acceptance, multicultural diversity, sensitivity, as well as the similarities that bind us all together. My cultural background has given me the skill set necessary to adapt and excel in any setting while still remaining true to my beliefs and to my philosophies at my core. Thank you.